Hey everybody, Saw's on the farm here, and this is not a saw. Had some comments on my old Dodge from some of my videos. People are picking it out in the background and asking questions about it. But yeah, this is my 89 12 valve, first gen, first year. In 1989, I believe they only made 10,000 of these trucks. And I think the motors were actually put in at the Cummins factory, because at that time, I don't think Chrysler, I think they were closing up their division or something, and they were about to close up all their truck division. So yeah, the first year, 10,000 of these. This one's in pretty good shape. It's had a custom paint job. It came out of Pennsylvania. I think it was probably set up to match a horse trailer or something. But this is a two-wheel drive dually. I got factory crank windows, AC, and a 5-speed. Yeah, absolutely love this truck. It's got all kinds of power. I tow my fifth wheel camper with it, no problems. You know, like I said, it's not perfect. Bumper's rotted. I do have a new one. Tailgate, it had the running lights across the bottom. That was all kind of rotted. Just pulled all that apart, sanded down the tailgate, sprayed it with some truck bed coating. Inside the bed, a little beat up, got a little bit of rust in the corners. Overall, this truck's pretty clean though. When I first got it, threw it up on the lift, the tranny was grinding first and second gear, so I pulled the transmission out, rebuilt it, all new synchros, bearings, seals, everything, and did the fuel lines while I was underneath it, brake lines. All of that stuff was, you know, still intact, but just not in great shape, so I figured might as well do it while I'm there. A little bit of pitting over the front fender, but you know, I'm not real concerned about it. It's an 89, the truck's 35 years old. The hood clear coat is peeling. I really don't care. I wanted this truck just for the reliability and the towing capacity, and just, I love these old trucks. So buddy of mine has one. It's the same year as mine. His is a single wheel 1 ton, and it's the same options. It is two-wheel drive, 5-speed, crank windows with AC, and his truck and my truck were made 3 months apart from each other. But ever since I drove his truck, I said, I'm gonna find one of those one day. And so that's what I did. And yeah, I've been completely happy with it. Glad I went through it, did everything that I did. If any of you guys have ever been inside one of these transmissions, there is a first and second gear, first and reverse, I believe it is. There's like a hardened steel ring that the servo goes inside, and they crack and break. Well, they're complete unobtainium. You cannot find them anywhere unless you find a whole nother transmission. They used to be available to purchase, and they've discontinued them. But those rings, they have 3 drive dogs on them, and in the corner of the dogs themselves, they crack. And when they crack, obviously you're not gripping on the synchro ring anymore, but you can weld them. So I had a friend of mine weld them up, and knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with it. But I'm still looking for a spare transmission. This is the Getrag G360. You know, there's a lot of opinions on them. Everybody, when they do a conversion, they tend to go with the NV4500 because I think that they're more readily available. But so far, I can't complain about this Getrag. After rebuilding it, it's been fine. I've been towing my camper with it. That's probably the heaviest thing I tow with it, and loaded up, I think it's got a GVW of like 11,000. So I'm happy with it. This did have the wide body molding on it, and I did get it with the truck, but I'm not sold on putting it back on. You can see there's little pins that stick out that this stuff is supposed to ride on, and I just don't want to put it back on there because I'm afraid the moisture and stuff is going to get back there and start rotting the truck even more. But yeah, it's pretty. Oh, hey kitty, it's pretty clean underneath. You know, I did the tank straps, took the tank out, cleaned everything. Yeah, it's not bad. Pretty happy with it, can't complain. Love these old Dodges. So there it is. Not a saw, but thanks for watching.